Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about why people are transitioning from hair transplants to hair systems. So you might notice that I'm wearing a different hair system to my last video. That's because I'm alternating systems at the moment. So the other system is the Tyler Silk hair system. This is an ultra thin skin. It's called the Louis see-through. It's got quite a dull finish. So if there's a light in the room, it won't sort of shine on your system. It's not as realistic as the Tyler, however, it's a lot more comfortable. Ultra thin skins are generally much more comfortable, but the ones that are sort of silk or lace are sort of more realistic. So personal preference, and it's up to you which one you really kind of prefer. But if you're interested in this one, it's in the description box below. 15% off, Adam15. So transplants, hair systems, why are a lot of people transitioning? Well, I was on Reddit last week and I was asking questions around this, around people who have basically had transplants and they weren't satisfied with the hair transplant and they've transitioned to the hair system. And that is a nice segue into reason one. And the reason one, and the most common reason why people transition from hair transplants to hair systems, is they're not happy with the final result. It's lacking the amount of density they were hoping for. There might still be a level of balding around the crown or around the widow's peak. It's not the result that they are envisioning. They've moved to hair systems because they're much more guaranteed to get the kind of result that they want and desire. If you prefer comfort, you can go for an ultra thin skin. If you want realism and a bit more density, you can go with a lace base or even a silk. So it gives you the privilege of having a choice. With a hair transplant, you don't have a choice. You just get what you're given. They base it off how much hair you have around the side of your head and the back of your head, how much hair they can harvest and implant it into the top of your head. So you're kind of limited by that, and that will dictate how much hair they can transplant and how realistic the hair transplant can look. It's not on the surgeon a lot of the times. It's just about how much donor hair you've got. What I will say about surgeons is there's a lot of cowboys out there, and a lot of people will say they can do to you. They'll give you a fake promise and they won't follow up on it. So I'd be really careful. I see a lot of guys going to Turkey to a number of vendors which aren't approved by any medical board, so you got to be careful. These people are going at you with scalpels and, you know, they're taking stuff out the back of your head and there's blood and yeah, do you know what I mean? So I would always urge caution. Obviously, you got to be careful with this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's your appearance that you're investing in. You want to make sure you get a good result. And a lot of these guys are very unhappy and they're having to go back. They've had to go back for more than one transplant and it still doesn't work. Reason number two why guys drop hair transplants or they've had a hair transplant, they transition to hair system, they don't get on with finasteride. So finasteride, otherwise known as Propecia, is a medication which is used for male pattern baldness. Now, a lot of people, probably most people, don't realise that when you get a hair transplant, you have to take medication for the rest of your life to ensure that that hair stays on your head. Because if it doesn't, it will just fall out again. You need to take finasteride daily. Now, I've spoken a million times on my channel about the dangerous side effects that you can get with finasteride. I suffer from them. So many people, so many subscribers on my channel have written comments or they've emailed me and they've said, I got so many bad side effects. I got loss of libido, I got anxiety problems, I got depression. I remember when I was on finasteride, I started getting all of these side effects. It was never explained to me, these side effects, when I actually got the medication. I actually had to do my own research. I even went to the doctor and they just said, oh, you're just depressed, oh, you're just anxious, you know. But I did my research and I found that all of these side effects can be attributed to finasteride intake, and so many people experience these, and so many people with hair transplants have experienced these. They've had to stop taking the medication, and as a result, all of the hair on the top of their head falls out. Important to also note here that finasteride does not 100% fully stop your hair from falling out. It massively slows the rate at which your hair falls out or sheds, whatever you want to refer to it as. But it doesn't stop it. It's not a guarantee. So the chances are, later down the line, even if you are on finasteride, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, you'll probably need another hair transplant because the medication doesn't fully stop the hair from falling out. So I kind of look at it like I do laser eye surgery. So with laser eye surgery, it will only work if your prescription, so your eyes, have stopped getting worse. That's the only way that it will work and you'll get consistent results. And it's the same with a hair transplant. You can have the hair transplant if you don't take the medication or you suffer from side effects from the medication, the hair will fall out again. So you've spent £8,000 to £10,000, probably more, for zero result long term. So a lot of people are like, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. I'm not getting the desired results, or I don't get on with the medication, and as a result, my hair is falling out, or I'm just not happy with the expense I put into this. I'm not happy with the final result. And reason number three why people are transitioning from hair transplants to hair systems is the cost of hair transplants is insane. It's better than it was, but it's still really expensive, and you've got the ongoing cost of having to pay for finasteride every single month. You may also have to invest in minoxidil if it's not the desired result. If the hair isn't thick enough for you, if the density isn't right, if it's still too thin, if there's balding still around the crown, you're going to have to keep using minoxidil, and minoxidil doesn't even give that good a result. You get almost like little villi sort of hairs, very, very fine. No one's even going to see that. What a waste of money. A lot of people are preparing to do the payments in installments of, buying a hair system every 4 to 6 months for $200, $300, $400, buying that and then getting another one in sort of 3 to 6 months. It's a much easier way of paying for things. Add to that, you're getting the desired result. If you want a thicker head of hair, you can get that with a hair system. If you want a thinner head of hair, you can get that with a hair system. If you want a specific colour, if you want it to fall a certain way, you can get that with a hair system. You're not guaranteed anything when you invest in a hair transplant. So what do you guys think? Have you had a hair transplant and you've transitioned to hair systems? Are you thinking about getting a hair transplant? Are you on the fence between hair systems or hair transplants? I want this to be an open discussion, guys. Let's get some comments. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's get a discussion going. If you haven't liked and subscribed and you're new around here, please don't forget to do so, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.